What's going on, guys? Welcome to The Journey, where we deep dive all things real estate and investing. We pick the brains of market leaders in their field so that we can fast forward you from where you are to where you want to be, utilizing their knowledge and experience. On today's episode, I have joining me Angie Horton, and she is actually a licensed underwriter, a notary, and a settlement officer, but she's also licensed Buffini mentor and instructor and a graduate of Dale Carnegie University, yes. And so she literally teaches other real estate agents how to grow their business organically. So I'm super excited to dive into this because she's going to teach us how to grow your business organically. And so if you wouldn't mind, Angie, just give me a little bit of background. How did you get into the title industry and real estate in general?
I followed a boy to Northern Virginia.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
I was born and raised in the Hampton Roads area, and I waited tables and did everything that a 18, 17-year-old would want to hustle for to make money. And then I realized when I got the offer to move to Northern Virginia to work at a title company as a receptionist by the father of the boy I was dating at the time. Oh. I figured, what 19-year-old would ever pass up an opportunity like that? Right. So I went into the adult world at 19 and started working at a title company, and I've never left.
Yeah, well, that's exciting. Okay, so that's kind of how you got your foot into it. I mean, when did you realize, this is what I want to do?
Pretty soon thereafter. I'd never had in an adult world, a professional atmosphere, and it felt good. I could dress up. I felt good about the way I looked, presented myself. I was already good with the public and dealing with the service side of sales in a sense. I always knew I just liked sales in general.
Yeah.
And I learned everything from soup to nuts. And actually, you never stop learning in this industry.
Yeah.
The real estate world is ever changing, and something new happens because humans are involved, and humans mess things up or make things better. And there's always something new. But the sales side of it is what captured me. So a couple years into it, after learning everything from what home ownership looked like, what a deed of trust was, what a deed was, the difference between the two, and then learning what title insurance was and why title insurance was something that was important, and then having to explain that to people at such a young age because I was seeing the need for it and issues that would come up and keep people from being able to sell their house or moving forward at the pace to be able to keep up with market conditions, and if they had a title defect or an estate with heirs and things that would keep them locked in that you wouldn't think would keep somebody from being able to sell the house.
Right.
But there's so many things that can keep you from moving forward in the process. And title insurance is the answer to a lot of those questions if you buy it.
Right.
And so learning the ins and outs of all of it, and what again captured me the most was the people side of it. Mm-hmm. When we would get repeat clients that came in and I would get to know them, what was exciting about all of it was every one of them were different. Mm-hmm. There was a man, Ron Rush, in Northern Virginia, who was just a really nice man, down to earth kind, but he was the number one producing real estate agent in all of Virginia. Oh, wow. And he would come in and close at the company I worked with, and he was just so real and so down to earth. And after hours, he would let me come into his office with his team, and I would make cold calls with him and his team. Mm-hmm. And I just learned how hard a successful agent has to work to get to that level. Wow. And I learned that at a young age, and that's where I started gravitating more, is the sales side of the people side of the title industry, the closing industry, and real estate.
Right. Okay. And so you were starting to learn, learn the strategy, the tactics from them. Were those the same things that you started to utilize in your business to grow it organically, or did you change your strategy?
I changed. I mean, I guess I'm going to age myself at this point on camera. This is January 2023, so do the math. I've been in this industry since 1997, October. So I'm not going to tell you. You'll figure it out. That's how old I am. So anyway, during that time, I've evolved. I'm still evolving. I'm still adding and doing things way different than I was a month ago. Mm-hmm. So what I've learned over time is I get more when I give. And I've just learned that since a young age.
Yeah.
But what I've learned in this industry is the more time I spend with someone that is appreciative of the time that I'm giving them and actually implementing the instruction that I'm giving them, that's where I drive it home. That's where I'm always focusing on that. So if somebody wants to take the time to listen to me and implement the steps that I'm giving them to help them grow their business, that's the rewards I receive from it.
Yeah.
And what I've been doing in a roundabout way is constantly, what do we say, polish that?
Yes, polished.
Yeah,
yes.
there we go.
That's the perfect word,
earlier.
yeah.
I've been polishing that side of what I do and helping people grow their business.
Okay. And so I guess on a more tactical level, what are the things that you're doing? So I've seen her calendar. It's absolutely insane, like 4 or 5 different events a day. But what do you do on a tactical level to kind of implement these organic strategies? What are the things you try to organize? And then we'll get into like, what is the purpose of that? So like, what are the events that you're holding, or what do you do to create organic growth right now?
Different levels, one-to-ones. I'll do one-to-ones with folks. I will do meetings with teams where I'll go to their office and help instruction in their office as a whole. And as a company, what TitleQuest does, we will do, we've actually branded it now. It's not really branded. Somebody can take this probably. Maybe we should brand it
Trademark.
now. It's Nourishing Greatness. And we didn't have Nourishing Greatness as the title at first. We were just, sitting down and planning, what are we doing next quarter? What are we doing next year? What are we doing 6 months from now? What's a class that we can put together? Who's a professional in a field that we're not a professional in, that does it better than us, that we can put before a group of real estate professionals that they can learn from. And so we started putting together instructional classes and courses, whether it be how to grow your business through social media, through YouTube, a class just focusing on your database, a class on working by referral, calls, notes, pop buys. We did classes on putting together pop buy gifts. The classes are endless that we do. And that's the things that we have strategized in the technical aspects of what do we do for folks to help them grow their businesses. We put together classes and courses and mixers and happy hours and networking events. We always have someone there that is a professional that they're going to need to either know, just listen to and take these instructions and implement them into their business. So a lot of classes that we offer.
Yeah, you're always putting on coaching classes. I see those. And so I think ultimately the big picture strategy, from what I'm understanding, is you want to teach all of the agents to become the best that they can, and then ultimately they'll come back to you because you're the one that provided.
Well, that's the goal.
That right? Yeah, we're talking deep level right here. Okay, so that's the goal. But I think that's powerful. And so, I mean, you could take that in a real estate business and do the exact same thing, but with your clients, like the ones that you're seeking out, you can create the things, the events, if you do the organizing, you can ultimately become the hub for those people. And so on a big level, that's how you can change that across different industries, is you become the hub by providing more value than you're asking. And for the real estate agents, it's how to grow their business. That's a tremendous value for them. So you've kind of cracked that code.
It's the give back, because there's a lot of real estate agents in Hampton Roads. There's a lot of lenders, lending institutions, and individual loan officers with each individual lending institution. But there's also a lot of title companies and closing offices. And how do we set ourselves apart? We do have the best service. Yeah. Absolutely, hands down.
I would agree.
We have the best staff. We have our own examiners that work in the TitleQuest office that aren't outsourcing and being outsourced and hired by other title companies. And that makes it so that we can pull an examiner off of something that's not closing for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, because we have something that just came in the door where somebody desperately needs to close in 2 days. So we have a way to move these things around it, and it doesn't distract from the service that we know we're able to provide, because we just morph it back into where we need to be, correct ourselves really quick.
Absolutely.
So we do pride ourselves on being a full service, amazing title company with an amazing staff.
Yeah, and I've used you. I've never had any issues, so I can attest to that. And so how, you're going down this journey, how did you ultimately get involved with Dale Carnegie and then the Buffini group?
That all came from a title company I worked with for many years.
Mm-hmm.
They did an amazing job of giving me so many tools.
Mm-hmm.
And it was never a what can we get from you? It was always a what can we do for you?
Right.
And I thank them. It wasn't the original title company I was working with, the one from Northern Virginia. This is a different title company that I had worked for when I came back home to Hampton Roads. And they gave me so much. And one of the things that they gave me in my tools was they put me in Dale Carnegie classes. And that helped with speaking, being able to, I'm really bad in front of the camera, by the way, if you haven't noticed that already. But in groups and getting attention and trying to stick to the subject, which I'm really bad at too. That's why I really needed that class. You'll see that in the next few minutes as well. And so they put me through Dale Carnegie. They knew that it would help me, so investing in me was going to help the company. And then Buffini was something that it was near the beginning. 2008 was when they heard about Buffini, and they flew me to California to Buffini's headquarters and had me trained right there.
Wow.
Near the beginning,
yeah.
When a lot of people across the nation didn't even know who Brian Buffini was or his systems.
Mm-hmm.
And really, the Buffini systems are tailored for real estate agents.
Right.
And the reason we did it, and the reason that I went there and became a mentor so I could teach the class, was so that I could be the tool belt and provide those to the people that are really eager to grow their business.
Absolutely.
So that was the goal. But I learned so much myself, and I implemented those same tools with how to organize my database, what's important, where to spend time blocking, having a CRM. There's a lot of successful people that could be more successful because they don't have a CRM and they don't work it.
Yeah.
And knowing how to spend time and calling and knowing who to call and knowing time. It's all the CRM wouldn't be a CRM if you didn't spend time on it.
Right.
And so it comes down to being able to teach these folks that are interested in wanting to learn these fundamentals to any sales. We talked about that earlier too. And what they taught me with Buffini and Dale Carnegie is giving, and me giving is going to be that.
You get it back.
Yeah, you get better. And that's what creates those lasting relationships.
Absolutely. Okay. And so coaching is kind of the spearhead of everything that you do. And so what would a typical week or month be for you? Like how many events do you try to keep consistently? Yeah, that's so to give the scale. I know it's a ton. So just to paint that picture.
This is a busy week. I'll give you this week. This was just a busy week in general. I have a lot of strong relationships in this industry, and I have room for more. And the reason why I'm not busy.
Yeah,
I like what I do. That's
right.
Don't get me wrong. It's where drive my kids crazy because I'll be like this, and this, and they'll be like, "Where have you been, Mom?" And then I tell them what I did, and they're just like, "Whoa!" And now we're doing this.
Yeah.
I'm thank God I've got the energy for this stuff still. But I also have a great team, so they help with some of the weight, and they help me getting it organized. We help each other. So Monday night, I had a really good client and friend come into town, and she hosted her own event. So of course, I wanted to be there with her and help lift her. And that was Monday night. I didn't get home until about 10, and that was after a full day of closings and my normal and classes. And there's a book club. And on Tuesdays is our sales meeting, and I jump on a Zoom call with a YouTube guru who's also in real estate, and did a YouTube Zoom with him and how we could help each other. And then I did a Taco Tuesday. We all met up with Richard's crew. This was the first one, a once a month taco club, and we pick local taco shops around the area. It's Cova Taco Club, by the way. Cova. We'll plug for a little Cova Taco Club. And how is that not fun?
Yeah.
And then we had Taco Tuesday happy hour last night, and we had about 35 to 40 agents come out to that. And so yesterday was just taco day. And I've got a game night that I'm going to for a friend client tonight that wants me to come out and fill in a spot. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
So I'll go home and I'll feed my kids and I'll cruise over to her house for a couple hours. Luckily, she's right down the road from my house, so that's great. Today I did a couple of closings. I had lunch with one of our investors. I'm doing this little video with you, and tomorrow we have a happy hour. We do our once a month happy hours. We have Mark Small, who is a great drone photography and videos, amazing, and he's our guest at our happy hour tomorrow because we want to be able to have the agents come out, network, but here, meet Mark, know what Mark can do to help you in your business.
Right.
And Mark can sell himself by going around and introducing himself to people, and then Friday I got one event on Friday too.
Yeah. So this is why Angie is speaking on this topic, because one, she's extremely successful in what she does. Two, she's built for this and actually enjoys it. So I think it takes a certain personality, but like this kind of sheds some light on how far you can really take this strategy if it's something you do enjoy. So like she'll work a full day, she's got a family, and then she'll do 1 to 2 events a day, whether she's hosting or attending. But like that's the kind of volume. Every single day there should be an event like on your calendar that you're out and about, meeting your people, talking to your people, providing some kind of value. And so this is why she's here for this, because she paints the picture of what it could be. And so with that, I know we talked about before like different levels. And so on a personal level, like you have your CRM and you have your clients, like what are the things you do for the ones that bring you the most business? I guess we can call it your top clients.
I'll tell you where they are. I'll tell you. Why not be vague?
Okay.
Well, I'm going to blow this up. Okay, so your CRM and my CRM and anybody in any sales, I don't care what you do, you should have a CRM. And if you don't have a CRM, you're not doing justice to yourself or your business. I'm not the most organized person. Not the most organized. I am flying in to every appointment. And that's just me. And I've learned to not stress about it. If I stress about it or if I continue to apologize about it, I can try, but I'm not working in that area on what I do wrong yet. I'm trying to focus on all the things I'm succeeding and I do well with. So me being completely on time all the time is my kryptonite. But anyway, going back to what we were talking about, I have my CRM built into categories of A+, A, B, and C. There is no D because D stands for delete, and you can make of it what you want to make of it. But you're supposed to work your database weekly, where you go through and you clean it. You go through and you take the time to, and you have to put this on your calendar. Time block it on the day that you're going to spend 2 hours on once a week going through your database and looking all through your A's, going through your B's, going through your C's. And then maybe there's one that you delete that week. Maybe there's a couple that you add. When you add somebody in your database, they may have just met you, know what you do for that moment, but maybe you clicked with them and I need to follow up with them. And we all have good intentions, but if we don't put it in our database and we don't put it on a follow-up, then you have to start that relationship all the way over again, and be surprised that person may not clicked with you and will not remember you possibly the next time you meet them. So it's good. Well, we all know strike when the iron's hot, or hit it while the trail is warm and the trail goes cold. You got to start. These are all metaphors that the CRM will keep you organized with. So in my database, an A+ is someone who they don't even have to think about me in order to refer me business, refer me another agent or an investor, refer me somebody that they think it may not be anything that has to do with my industry. They just said, hey, call Angie. I think that she'd be a great person for you to talk to because you've been thinking about getting your real estate license. I mean, she can tell you I'm not a real estate agent, but I mean, just the fact that this person thinks of me to be that person for somebody that they're referring is special. That's an A+. A is someone who I want to make an A+. So I'm going to spend almost as much time with the A as I would my A+. And because they're still an A. But the difference in my book, and everybody can be different in who you want to consider A and A plus, but my book, an A plus is somebody I don't have to constantly remind what I do and what I can do for
and
them.
Your value.
They're programmed. A, I have to program a little bit more possibly, but they could just also be someone who has the ability to help me and my team get to where we need to be.
Okay.
So I want to make sure I focus on them, and how I focus on them is keeping them in the forefront. Forefront's A.
Right.
And then B is folks that maybe they've closed with you already or worked with you on something or referred you business because they had confidence in you, but you're working them towards being that A.
Right.
And then the A plus. So you're constantly pushing the C's up.
Right.
And the reason why, truthfully, that you have them categorized is because you can't spend time with everybody in your database. You can't give them all the same attention. So if you have too many C's, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay because you have to do things for the C's that you can fit in, like, and which I do a lot, which we have the classes, we have monthly mixers, happy hours, coffee hours. I have other events that I'm invited to where they're like, hey, if you want to invite some people, and I'm like, how many can I have?
Right.
Right. Beware. Yeah. So then I'll go to the C's and I'll ask the C's, hey, I know about this. I thought about you because this sounds like it's in your wheelhouse. And I feel like I'm the networker, I'm the connector. I learned that from Adam Morgan. If you don't know who he is, he's a great connector. He's here in Virginia Beach. He's a financial advisor. Great guy. Okay. He is Mr. Connector. And that it's at the end of the day, you could have 10 appointments. What is rewarding out of all those appointments is if out of every one of those appointments, you referred them something, or you gave them something that's going to help better them, or you connected them with somebody that you know is going to get them to that next level or that next step. It's a constant give back. And that's where I focus in my database. Where can I focus my time where I know I can commit to focusing, as well as what can I provide people value? Right.
Okay. And so when you meet somebody, how do you handle that interaction? Do you get their card? Do you get their number immediately? And then and did you just stash it away? And then on your CRM day, you go in and log them as C's? Or what is the data entry into this look like?
Depending on the conversation. I had a networking event that I attended last night, 35 to 40 people. I made an appointment to speak to every single person in the room. And I was introduced to a few people I didn't know, or asked if I could have a warmer introduction to someone that I didn't know. But out of the room, I was in front of a lot of people that I did know and that knew me. And then I went around and met some folks that I hadn't met before, or maybe I've connected with once or two other times. So what I take away from being in a room with 35 to 40 people that I had spoke with, the next step is immediately that night, or the next morning, but it needs to be that night. And I got home a little late last night, so a few things this morning. I texted a few people as soon as I left, because I knew they were still up and it wasn't going to be rude to send a text that late, and said it was nice to meet them. I'm not a card person, so I will, and this is my little sneak, I will share my contact card with them, and then I'll ask them to share theirs with me. And when I get their card, or when I get their contact card, I screenshot it on my phone, and I make a note right there. Maybe something personal, something that they told me, something I connected with, because I don't want to forget about that. And somebody told me about their horse. Well, I'm not going to remember that they had a horse when I go to write them a note. So I will make notes right then and there. I'll sit in my car when I leave an appointment for 20 or 30 minutes before I even look at my phone to see what text messages are there or what phone calls I missed. So if I don't call you back right away, it's what I'm doing. I'm sitting in my car and I'm writing personal notes, or I'm calling somebody or texting somebody that was nice to meet them, or I'm updating my CRM with conversations that I had with someone that is going to make an impact on them when I call them again. It's just continuing that connection. So out of the 35, 40 people that I connected with last night, there are 5 people that I had a really good connection with, where every one of them said, I would like to connect again.
Yeah.
I would be stupid if I did not put them in my database. So I didn't actually put even everybody in my database that I had met last night because there really wasn't a lot of true connections out of all of them. But the ones I connected, maybe some of them are C's, but the 5, they're going into B's because we connected.
Right.
And I want to follow up on them as soon as possible. So.
No, I think that's powerful, and I think that takes a lot of discipline, and I think that's really, that right there is the separation, because most people will not take the time to do that, to actually, first off, remember the name, but then 2, write notes about y'all's discussion so that you can come back to it. Most people don't have that discipline. They'll leave a meeting, leave a conversation, go on about their day, and 24 hours later, it's wiped out. And so that to me is the secret sauce, like that part right there. That's the big thing. So B's are good vibes. Got it. And C's have potential. Got it. No, that's perfect. Okay. Potential. Okay. So we talked about the events that you hold. Title company. I feel like I had a question about. Anyway, we can maybe it'll jog it later.
I will tell you with the CRM, just to go one step deeper, with CRM, A, B, C's, A pluses, handwritten notes are important. I stress this to real estate agents mostly, that a handwritten note makes a huge difference in your world. I sent a birthday card to a gentleman in the industry a couple years ago, and he's years older than me. And he said it's the very first time he's ever gotten a birthday card in the mail. Like, this man's like,
we'll start by that.
Yeah. So I do birthday cards when I can, or I'll pick up the phone and call people on their birthday, or I'll shoot them a text message. I don't do it on Facebook. It gets watered down. It's hard to see every happy birthday. Most of the time, they're just the gifts, the happy birthday gifts that somebody just clicked and hit send. And so I try to be more deliberate with that, whether or not it's a phone call or I do a video. Sing happy birthday. That's even better. I do. If you've gotten a happy birthday song, then you're my A.
Yeah, just know. And if you haven't, just know that you know where you stand.
It's probably because I don't have you updated in my database with your birthday. Is probably what it is.
And honestly, I feel like this is one of those things that just keeps getting more and more and more important, because less and less people do it, less and less people receive these things. So to get like an individual card, and some people value different things, differently. So like some people might not think a card is that important, but like the fact that you followed up with them can mean a lot. And so like doing all of those things, I think is...
We're human. It's nice to get a handwritten note in the mail. Yeah. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, 100%.
You open up your mailbox and you've got 15 letters, and all of them are either, junk mail or bills.
Yes.
And you got that one handwritten note, and you're thinking, is this from Aunt Alma?
Yeah.
But no, it's from my title girl, Angie.
Yeah, who would have guessed? All right, so Angie, to keep this short and sweet, if somebody wanted to kind of learn about title companies, what they do, and if they wanted or needed a title company, how could they reach you?
Oh, okay. My cell phone.
Okay.
I have what did I say earlier? My kryptonite. One of my kryptonite is email. You can email me, but I'm a one-to-oneer. I'm a pick up the phone and talk to me. If you can't get me on the phone, shoot me a text message and let me know time that I can call you. So I like the personal touch. So call me. My cell phone, 757-288-7306. And my Instagram handle is Your Title Girl Angie. And there's spaces between underscores, but if you type in Your Title Girl Angie. I also have Facebook, but I focus more on... I get in trouble for not focusing on my Facebook from the team. They're like, check your Facebook. But Instagram is my jam. And Facebook is Angela Edmondson Horton, TitleQuest.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, and the company is TitleQuest. And so anybody who does want to reach out, obviously you heard it, just text her and then give her a call. And if you need anything from me, or if you want to get in contact with me, raisingcapitalrealty.com, all the links and all the stuff is there. So you just go there. We'll get you taken care of. But all this information has been extremely helpful, Angie. I really appreciate it.
I hope you guys use it.
Yes, please implement it. That is how she finds the greatest fulfillment. So please treat her right and implement these things. Update your CRM if you have one. Label your people A+, A, B, C, and then constantly try to move your people from C's and B's up to A's, because ultimately that's how you're going to grow your business organically. And to finish out, How much of your business do you think comes from referrals?
98.5.
There you go. It works, okay? And so she doesn't do this for fun. It is fun for her, but this is how she continues to grow her business. And in this space, especially real estate, networking is key. And so I think this is an extremely powerful, and if you are like Angie and you enjoy personal touches in company and people and conversations, then I highly recommend implementing this system because obviously it works. So anyway, thank you again, Angie. I appreciate you, and we will talk soon.